Twitter. This is a quick hit. We're going to still continue to do the Jets Twit podcast, but I have all this stuff going through my brain, and I wanted to get it out before the next podcast. So I was at training camp yesterday as a credentialed media member, which was pretty cool. First time that has ever happened. Remember, we've been doing the podcast since 2009 and the blog, and Jets Twit finally made its debut officially. Been to camp many times, been to Cortland many times, and by the way, I've been on the field. You can see actually that picture right there. There's my dad and my brother in 2010, first practice, first appearance at New MetLife Stadium. So we've done that before, but never as Jets Twit. And that was pretty exciting. Quick story, I got to stand on the sidelines, and I'm looking at the plays, standing next to Rich Samini, and I see this athlete come over, and he's talking to Rich, and he's like, "Oh, it's been a long time, you haven't aged, blah, 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 blah." And I'm like, man, who is this? And, of course, I was eavesdropping a little bit, but I got to, I hear, like, Bruce Coslet. I hear 1992. Fast and Furious. I ruined my career. I had all the talent in the world. I was a country bumpkin. New York ate me up. I had a couple great games, that 3-touchdown game, and I'm like, this sounds like Johnny Mitchell. And, I'm kind of, like, edging my way over. I mean, like, almost bumping the guy because I want to, like, I want him to turn around and, like, see his media pass because I'm sure his name was on it. And sure enough, he turns around and Johnny Mitchell, and I'm like, oh, man. And I think he saw, I'm like, oh, man, I was at your game that you had 3 touchdowns. And what was really cool was we're standing on the sidelines. We're looking at the plays, and it was cool to see his insight. He's looking at the receivers and tight ends especially, and he's telling me the differences. He goes, look at this facility. This is nothing like I had. We had Hofstra, but man, these guys have everything. There's no reason to fail. He's like, if I could talk to Sheldon, if I could talk to these players, I would tell them, focus, man. Just focus on what you need to do. Focus on your career. There's plenty of time to have fun. There's plenty of time to do all those things after football. But don't squander your ability. Don't squander, because you'll never know. You'll never know if you get a second chance. For example, Stephen Hill, perfect example. News just broke this morning that he tore his ACL with the Panthers. He was on the practice squad last year. Remember, he was like a second-round pick for us. We had high expectations for him after the Bills game. His first game, he had 2 touchdowns, 89 yards, 5 catches. We're like, I'm embarrassed to say I wrote a blog post that said, man, this guy's the real deal. Well, yeah, okay. I don't always hit. Probably miss more than I hit with guessing. And that's all it is. You don't know. Nobody thought Wayne Crepet was going to be the man that he became. Somehow the talent, some got to work at it. But I hate hearing stories where they're number 1, number 2 picks, all the talent in the world, expectations are high, and Sheldon Richardson, you squander what you have. You squander your ability. You throw it away. I didn't really get to talk about Sheldon Richardson and what he did. I wrote a story about it the first time. It was 4-game suspension, getting caught for marijuana, and I was like, man, how stupid are you? And, he put out a tweet that said, oh, I'll never let this happen again. He was at camp on Friday telling the press that he's no dope fiend and this will never happen again. And he talked to his teammates, and that's it. This will never happen again. Hour later, it broke. And everyone was caught off guard. And everyone was, the Jets were caught off guard. And what was cool was I got to hear Mike McCagney, the GM. I was like right there, 2 inches away from his press conference, with the media, of course. Thank you, Jets, for allowing that to happen. That was really cool. And press were, like, hey, what about Sheldon Richardson? Is this long-term? And, is this going to affect his future? And Mike was non-committal, and he's very a calm guy. Despite drinking like 50 million cups of coffee a day, he's so mild-mannered. And when the press pushed him to put up quotes for Wilkerson, he goes, "I am not going to negotiate his deal through the media." So he wouldn't give a, they like, do you think he's an exceptional player? Do you think he's a star player? Why isn't this happening? Mo Wilkerson said that if he doesn't get a deal by week 1, he's just going to play out his existing contract. And Mike's like, I didn't hear that one. So it was kind of cool to see their reactions. And he talked so low, and I was kind of in the back, and you were outside actually on the field, and the players were coming out while this was going on, and it was cool. It was a cool experience. Albert Breer was there from the NFL Network. He was standing in front of me. He's taking his notes, and he's chuckling and commenting to himself. But it was kind of cool to see all the media and who asks the questions, who stands in the front, who is aggressive, who's laid back, who doesn't say a word. And I know that was just one piece, one sampling. But at that particular one, it was just an interesting experience. So, these are quick hits. I'm doing them as videos, and they're going to be on my YouTube channel, and the audio will be on Jets Twit. If you are listening to it on your regular Jets Twit, you're going to want to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I think I have it as eManessy at this point. eManessy, Erik Manessy, or eManessy is the channel. And we'll see how these go. And if I continue to do them, maybe this will be the only one, but we'll see. So thanks for listening. Thanks for following Jets Twit. Thanks for following me on Twitter, E_MAN. And talk to you later. Now I'm going to play some videos for you. If you're listening to it on the audio, on the podcast, you're just going to hear some sound, and it's not going to make a lot of sense. And I'm going to tell you, go to the YouTube channel, eManessy, and you can see the clips there. If not, continue to listen to the sound. But here you go. Here's some cool highlights of video I shot yesterday at Jets camp.
He's out a couple weeks, obviously. Anywhere from 4 to 6, as they say. Hopefully he comes back sooner than that. But it gives the other guys opportunities to play, and these type of things happen. It was a freak accident. We try to get him back as fast as we can, but we want him to be healthy. But the other guys gives us a chance to take a good look at it.
How did you feel the first day on pads went?
Efficiency-wise, I thought the offense did a pretty good job, especially blocking and not having any turnovers. Obviously, penalties, but they were 2 downfield, but they didn't have any false starts. And basically, I thought they showed up to play, but the defense wore down. Some of the guys probably were running and working out indoors in the summer, and they got wore down. So overall, assignment-wise, everybody knew what they were doing.
Jeez, yeah. Break his wrist. Alright, Jace. So Jace got.
Go, Amaro! Come on, Jace! Go, man! Go, go!
Ooh.